Welcome back. This is the Halftime Report brought to you by Coca-Cola. We invite you to experience the Coke side of life. My guest is Dr. Julie Amato. Dr. Julie works with our athletes at Lafayette College. She's a sports psychologist. And Julie, with the way things are going right now with COVID, I'm sure you're a very, very busy psychologist.
Yeah, I mean, busier than usual, actually, and I'm sure you can imagine why. It's a really strange time right now.
Well, I know how it's actually affecting me and my job because
Yeah.
things change so very often and at the last minute. I can only imagine how it affects players. Can you tell us a little bit about most of the things that they talk to you about?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We're almost a year into this pandemic, and words like masks and social distancing and isolation and things that weren't a part of our lives before. So that's a lot of change, a lot of upheaval. So back in last spring, we talked a lot about losses of seasons and will we have a season coming up? And mainly, they're just dealing with a lot of uncertainty. And so now it's like, okay, we are having seasons, but they're dealing with having to go through testing protocols and last minute changes. Like, even with the women's basketball team, 2 weeks ago, they thought they were playing American, then American
Mhm.
turns in a positive test. And now all of a sudden, with less than 24 hours notice, you prepared all week for American and you're going to play Loyola. So we're having to have our athletes be really mentally resilient, be able to pivot and, just adapt. And I think they're doing a pretty good job of it, but it's difficult. It's challenging for sure.
I can't think of anybody better to do that. You were a terrific athlete. I remember doing your games
Thank
in
you.
high school a long, long time ago. Uh, what do you basically tell them? I mean, for instance, on Friday night, I found out I
Yeah,
was doing a game on a Saturday that I didn't know I was doing.
yeah.
So there's panic that sets in.
Yep.
What do you tell them? I'm sure the same kind of mental problems occur.
Yeah, I think we're really just trying to approach this season with hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and be unsurprised by anything in between. That's a Maya Angelou quote. And so we're really trying to understand we don't have control over a lot of the outside factors, but we just have to focus on what we can do, what we can control, which is try to protect ourselves from this virus, which is put in our training and preparation and understand that we might have to pivot at any moment. And so we're not going to make excuses. We're just going to focus on the things we know we can control. And when we keep our mind and attention there, we prepare ourselves to have success. So I think that's mainly what we're trying to teach. It's like we know there's anxiety, we know there's unknowns, but we want to, and if every time your mind wanders to those worst case scenario places, you focus on what is, not what if.
And I think it's so extremely important, maybe more important than when you and I were playing the game. We always worried about being physically prepared. We always worried about practicing and knowing what we're supposed to do on in terms of the court, but very, very seldom do we look at the mental aspect. And I think that's become extremely important, right?
For sure. I mean, obviously, Lafayette's poured a lot into this resource to give the athletes access to me as a sports psychologist and to working on the mental side of their games. And they use it. They're really smart kids. I think they want to be well prepared. They want to develop routines. They want to have plans and contingency plans in place. Should anxiety start to crop up, hey, how do I manage that? And so I think they're getting really good at managing the stressors in their life, at regulating their emotions well so that they can compete, when the pressure is on and they have to.
So there you have it. Everybody now knows where they can go to get mentally better. Dr. Julie Amato, we thank her so much for joining us here at the half. We'll be back with the first half stats. Stay with us.
Thank you.